Hey, music fans, we are back. This is the video you guys have been waiting for. It is the top 10 songs of Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. I'm not going to let that fall over.
Great intro there.
Great intro. Yeah, that was kind of a little awkward there, the album falling over. Anyway, we're going to be talking about our 10 favorite Steely Dan songs today. We already did the discography ranking. We're going back and doing top 10 songs from the artists that we haven't done top 10 songs on, kind of going through the list of all the ones we did discographies for. So today is Steely Dan. You guys excited about this?
Yeah,
Yes, I
I'm
am.
ready.
Like, how do you guys feel about Steely Dan? Like, yay, nay, or eh?
I I haven't listened to enough of their music to really give a full opinion on it, but as of right now, to me, there's like a group of bands that I like really hold dear to me. Then there's like a second camp where it's like they're really good, but like they don't really, to me, reach the above and beyondness of the first tier or like the S tier. That's how I feel like they're like an A tier right now. If we were to do like a tier list of bands,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, kind of similar, but yeah, they've definitely been going up. I'm not sure if they would be in my top 10 or top 20, but they definitely would be in the top 100 for sure. Just their albums are just absolutely well put together for the most part, and many great songs. So yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of them.
I think they entered my top 10 artists the second that Do It Again played, which is one of the first song that I heard by them whenever I started listening to them last summer. So,
Yeah.
if you really want to know how I feel about them, go watch the short that I made.
Hmm.
That
Yep. That
explains
was a
it
good
really
one.
well.
Yep.
I really hope that short blows up because I'm like, I got that idea and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's way too funny. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get into our top 10 songs. We're going to be going in the traditional order of Bryer, Nick, and myself. I'm going to go from 10 to 2, honorable mentions, and then our favorite song. So let's
oh,
get.
I said I had to leave early.
Oh,
Remember?
sorry about
Oh
that.
yeah.
It's Super
No,
Bowl
it's okay.
Sunday.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you my top 10 and some honorable mentions. Which, like I said, they're an A tier band, but they have quite a bit of honorable mentions. But my number 10 would be Only a Fool Would Say That. I really like it because it's kind of like a follow up. Well, me and Garrett believe it's a follow up to like Imagine, which don't believe everything people say, on the internet, but I could see why because the lyrics really hint at it. So yeah, that's kind of the lyrics are for me the reason why I really like it. My number 9 would be Deacon Blues. I actually really like that song. To me, it's a really enjoyable song. Number 8, I'd say Peg from the Asia album, and yeah, it's really another really good song. Number 7, a song that will get stuck in your head as soon as you listen to it. Ricky, Don't Lose That Number. Uh, really enjoy that song. Number 6, I'd say Aja, the title track to the album Aja, uh, right next to Garrett. Really good album. Number 5, Do It Again. Back Jack, Do It Again. Number 4, Kid Chameleon. I don't know how you say Charmeleon. Is that how you say it?
Charlemagne.
I don't know why we say chameleon. I don't know. Weird. Number 3, Reeling in the Years. One of the best guitar riffs you're gonna hear. Number 2, Dirty Work, and like I said, I have a few honorable mentions.
Oh,
Kings is one of them. Change of the Guard, I really enjoy that song. Royal Scam has a few of them. Don't Take Me Alive, really good. The Fez is really good. Everything It Did is really good, and the title track is really good of the Royal Scam. Um, Gotcha. That song's actually really good. That song actually grew on me. It's actually an honorable mention now. And I'd say whatever song I didn't mention on Asia, I'd say is an honorable mention because the song's really good. And my number 1 song would be Midnight Cruiser. That song, as always, the first second I heard, I'm like, this could be my favorite Steely Dan song. Then.
it's
Still
the only
is.
song sung by the drummer.
I
Yeah.
know that's the crazy thing. To me, that's just a weird coincidence. But yeah, that is my top 10. See you guys
Cool.
later.
All right, we got some comments here.
Oh, let me see those.
Okay, so Zeb says the second arrangement is in his top 10. Okay, so it's a funny story. The second arrangement was supposed to be on Gaucho, and some studio executive accidentally, he was like trying to make a tape copy of it, and he accidentally copied the blank tape over the second arrangement instead of the second arrangement onto the blank tape. So it got
Yeah,
destroyed, and there's only like bad quality cassette bootlegs of it. And I listened to it, I'm like, man, if only this was in good quality and it could have been on the Gaucho album, it would have been
yeah.
even
If
better.
only.
Because I
Oh yeah,
heard all these.
I'm sorry. I'm not. Oh yeah, Zeb. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of the Pretzel Logic album. I'm sorry.
It
Um,
was in my lower whenever we ranked these, but my opinion has changed a little bit of it. I have more songs that I like from that album,
Yeah.
and
by the way, you're wrong. By the way, Ricky, don't lose that number is on Pretzel Logic. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no songs on it.
wait, what?
He said Nick is not a Pretzel Logic fan. No songs from it. He is crazy. I said I'm just saying the first track on it's. I said it's one of their best.
Mm,
Sorry to interrupt.
that's okay. And what? Why do you hate Peg? Come on, it's got Michael McDonald on it, and a
Yeah,
great
it's pretty
guitar
good.
solo. There is an update if you search around YouTube long enough. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I might have to check that out because I've only heard the bad
Interesting.
quality ones, but it's really catchy. It's like do 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 do. It's the guitar at the beginning is really catchy and the
Mm,
melody is really good.
yeah.
It's just a
Okay,
bit
guys,
an
I'm gonna
unofficial
hop
song.
off.
All right, see you
All
later.
right.
I'm
Good
gonna
seeing
watch
you,
the
Nick.
replay. See ya.
Yeah, check out some of the Gaucho outtakes. Those are really good. Anyway, we are now
Yeah.
going to get to our top 10 songs. Bryer, if you would like to go ahead and go with number 10.
All right. Number 10. And we're starting off from this album. I'm going to go with Really in the Years. I think, if I remember correctly, this is the very first Steely Dan song I ever heard. And I think I heard it not long after Walter Becker passed away. That was kind of where I first heard of Steely Dan. And I heard he was a pretty well known guitar player, so I decided to check it out. And when I searched up Steely Dan, this was the first song that came up, and I was pretty impressed by it right off the bat. It just has this great I don't know what kind of drum pattern it is. I'm not a drummer, but it's just this very driving drum pattern to it, and it's just like a great flow in terms of Fagen's vocals. Like, I just absolutely love the cadence he does on the song, and the chorus is very catchy, and of course the guitar work is absolutely spectacular. It's done by, if I remember correctly, I looked it up, Elliot Randall was the one who played
Mhm.
lead guitar on it, and his guitar solo is just absolutely really splendidly done. And I looked up that Jimmy Page has said that that's probably one of his favorite guitar solos ever. So if Jimmy Page says your guitar solo is great, then that must mean something great. But yeah, it's number 10 for me. Yeah, Really in the Years for me.
Cool. My number 10 is Steely Dan's biggest hit, Ricky Don't Lose That Number, from the Pretzel Logic album. This one is really cool because there's not very many popular songs that use a bossa nova pattern, which is what
Mm.
the style that this song is in. Starting out with that piano, that boom, 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 and like it's just really catchy. They hook you in with that Ricky, don't lose that number. You don't want to call nobody else. This is one of the more commercial songs that they did, but it's super catchy and it just sticks in your head. So I got Ricky, don't lose that number at number 10.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be going. So playing with my list, I am gonna go to this album next. However, it's not gonna be Ricky. Don't lose that number. It's
Hmm.
actually gonna go to Night by Night.
Uh,
So that's the third song on the album, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's the third song. But yeah, so and this is the only Pretzel Logic song I have in the top 10. So sadly, Ricky didn't, Louis number didn't make it. But if it was to go to number 11, then yeah, Ricky would probably be number 11. But I just like Night by Night just a little bit more because I just absolutely love how the funk nature of it. It's just absolutely infectious because I love funk music and stuff like that. So I was always drawn to that particular song, and the horns and guitar horns on it is just always a nice little touch. That's something I've always loved about Steely Dan is that when they bring in the horns, it's that always that's like the cherry on top of it.
Mm.
And yeah, and the guitar solo in here is really good as well. But yeah, it's number 9 for me, Night by Night.
My number 9 is from the Katy Light album. It's Dr. Wu. This song is amazing. Well, first of all, like the lyrics, I have no clue what they're talking about. It's like either about drugs or about a love triangle or something like that. But it's the sound of this song that I really like. Like as soon as it starts, those kind of ominous chimes in the background, and just the way he sings, and then the chorus is super catchy. Are you with me, Doctor Wu? And my favorite part is there's like kind of an interesting chord whenever they go, "Are you crazy? Are you high? Or just an ordinary guy?" Like the chords there are really interesting, and then there's like a really cool saxophone near the end, and what I really like is the outro where he keeps going, "Are you with me, Doctor?" And the drums keep changing what they're doing when the saxophone. And my favorite part is, "Are you with me, Doctor?" And the drums kind of go syncopated like, and then they just get right back into it. That's really cool. This is definitely the best song off of that particular album, and it is my number 9.
Okay, well, I'm going to be sticking with this album, but it won't be Dr. Wu. I'm actually going to go with Rose Darling for my number 8.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so this is like one of the shorter songs. It's like a little bit over 3 minutes, so it's not a lot. It doesn't overstay its welcome, but in that 3 minutes, it's just like this. So many great hooks in it that I really enjoy. Like there's lots of lovely guitar chords throughout, and the guitar work really complements it. Like you hear like little licks throughout, which if you really listen carefully, like those are like really good ear candy in there. And it just has this great steady beat, which is done by Jeff Beccario as well. Like he does pretty much. I think he does the drums on pretty much the majority of the whole album here, except for one song. But yeah, you could definitely hear his presence on this album, and of course, that's Michael McDonald on it, providing backing vocals. And
Yeah.
when Michael's on, then it's going to be a good song. But yeah, number 8 is Rose Darling.
Let's see. Rose Darling feels like it could be. I'm saying these sunglasses.
Yeah, Rose Darling feels like it could work as a
A
B-side
B
to
side of
that
the album.
album. Probably the one weak
You
song
think
on
it's a
it.
one? I wouldn't say it's weak, but it's not my favorite on the album. I would say my favorites are Katy Lied, and then probably like Bad Sneakers and Black Friday.
Yeah.
And Chain Lightning is good too. All right, my number 8 is the first Steely Dan song, "Do It Again."
Nice.
"Do It Again" is infectious as soon as it starts with that kind of Latin kind of percussion, and then it comes in with the keyboard, and it's just kind of almost, can I say, like mystical sounding, because that's kind of what the melody of this song sounds like. It's very mystical. It's about a guy who's like he's a compulsive gambler and is stuck in these bad habits and he can't get out of them. And it has what's really cool about this song is that the guitar solo isn't really played on a guitar. It was played on an electric sitar, which is just a guitar with something on the bridge pickup that makes it like buzz to sound like a sitar. But I think it's really cool that they used that for this song because it's a kind of an odd instrument. And then directly after that, you got Fagan playing around with his plastic organ solo. That's pretty cool. What's this?
Just trolling.
Lazy choice. Hey,
Lol.
it's a good song. It's a good song, okay? I've got some deep cuts on here, you two. Have to wait and see what my number 1 song is. Anyway,
We appreciate you watching those, Eb.
Grant from Grant's Walk Warehouse make an appearance sometime. Okay, I would like that. That would be cool.
I follow Grant a little bit. I know he's on Rachel's streams, Rachel's Ghost a lot of time.
It's a good song. It's a good song. Fair, fair. Yes. Well, here's the thing. Look at my list of honorable mentions, and you see that I like pretty much all their songs. It's just that this
Yeah.
one just kind of hooked me in as soon as I heard it, and I haven't really heard it on the radio as much, so I'm not like mind numb to it. Like some songs have been on the radio so much, you hear it come on, even on an album, you're like, not that song. That was a good song the first 50 times I heard it, but I can't hear that anymore. Anyway, that's my number 8. Just do it again.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Okay, so I'm gonna be going back to this album, and I'm gonna go with "Dirty Work." So this one you have
Good choice.
David Palmer on lead vocals on this one, and yeah, I think that might have been the second song I might have heard by Steely Dan. So it was really Year's First, and then "Dirty Work," which were the two big hits on it, and I was really mesmerized by the keyboard intro, like the sound of that, and of course David Palmer's vocals on it. And he's not this like one of like, two or three songs he sung on this album, and from then on, from after that, it was just Donald Fagen for the most part. But yeah, I think the song really stands out as just having a different vocalist just really makes it stand out from the whole catalog. And it's just a really good soft rock track, and it has, again, I just love the chorus to it, and it just has this melancholic, a little bit of a melancholic feel to it. But yeah, it's a great song. I love it. So that's gonna be my number 7.
Cool. My number 7 is "Only a Fool Would Say That" from Can't Buy a Thrill. If you look on the back of the album, it is subtitled "A Message Cha Cha."
Yep.
It is about, well, at least Nick and I think it's about John Lennon's Imagine, kind of looking at things from the other side, people who work for their money and don't want everything to be like, kind of people who don't really want a communistic society. And at the very end, it has Jeff Baxter saying something in Spanish, which is kind of funny. But what I really like about this song is the rhythms of it. Like as soon as it starts, this is like one of the most chill songs you've ever heard. It just starts and then it goes boo do 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 do, and then like the vocals come in and the vocals are really chill. We'll become one, salads and sun. Only a fool would say that, and that gets in your head. Only a fool would say that. Only a fool would say that. Only a fool. And then like the guitar licks in this, which I think were played by, they're either by Jeff Baxter or Walter Becker on this track, or maybe Denny Diaz, one of the three, because this is when they were more of a band. But
Yeah.
the guitar is really good on this one, and then you get that bridge that kind of changes keys there for a minute. It's like, wow, this is really cool. Everybody on the street has murder in his eyes. That's my Donald Fagen impression, but
That's pretty
that's
good.
really catchy. Uh, and yeah, only a fool would say that. One of my favorites. It's number 7.
Awesome. Yep. So my number 6, I'm going to talk about this album now. So I'm going to go with Josie, which is the last song on the album. Yeah, just one of the great closing track on this album. It's very jazzy. Just love the jazz nature of it, and I love that guitar intro to it. Like that just hooks you in. I know Rick Beato did a video on this song, just calling it like the weirdest intro to a pop song ever, and and even though I don't really know a whole lot about Theory, but how he breaks it down is just like really shows just how well Donald and Walter were at crafting these songs. And Walter's actually providing a lot of guitar solos in this song, which sound very cool. And yeah, and the horns on here absolutely spectacular, and just absolutely love the groove to it. And especially if you hear the bass, like you hear like there's always you hear a bass slide at certain points. It's just absolutely spectacular. And yeah, I just absolutely love Josie. Great closing track on this really good album. So yeah, number 6. We're on 6. Yeah, 6.
Yes. All right, my number 6. This is probably the laziest choice, but I love this song. It's "Reeling in the Years."
Mhm.
Um, this was the very first song I heard by them. I heard it on the radio, but I've just heard like parts of it on the radio. I hadn't like heard the whole thing. But whenever I listen to this album, I'm like that guitar is really good. And like not just the intro. The intro is really cool, but my favorite part is actually the part that goes do 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 that's my favorite part,
Mhm.
especially when I'm playing it on my record because it like the whole sound fills the room and the bass is just booming there. It's just a really cool sound there. But what's interesting about this song is this is one of the only times you get to hear Donald Fagen, Walter Becker, and David Palmer harmonizing. And
Mhm.
what's really sad is that they sound really good harmonizing together and that
Yeah.
you're not going to get to hear that on any other albums,
Mhm.
which is a shame. But
Yeah.
it's good that we get to hear it on this song at least.
Yeah.
But Reeling in the Years is my number 6.
Yeah. Great one. Okay, number 5. So we're at the halfway point. Okay, I finally get to talk about this album now. So absolutely
See
love
the
this album.
glory of the royal scam.
Yeah, good guess. But yeah, number 5 is going to be the opening song, King Charlemagne, or Kid Charlemagne. Sorry. Yeah, so absolutely great. Another great opening tracks. I mean, lyrically, it's supposed to be telling the story of like the rise and fall of some drug dealer that apparently that they knew in real life. I'm not sure if they actually bought from him or anything, but kind of interesting. Kind of interesting
I
because
think he
that's
was the Grateful Dead's manager.
possibly. I mean, who knows? I mean, it was the '70s after all. But but yeah, uh, it's just, and that's the thing with a lot of Steely Dan lyrics, and we haven't really brought them up because they're kind of pretty hard to decipher a lot of the times because they're never. I don't think really Walter and Donald really were very clear. Never really told anybody the actual meaning of them. They just give like a brief, like a you know, they don't really go in
Kind of
depth of it.
character studies in these
Yeah.
gentlemen losers, to quote Midnight Cruiser.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the opening track to Kid Charlemagne is a great one. Just pretty much is a great way to start the album. You have Larry Carlton providing guitar work on here, and again, he's always has provided a lot of great guitar work throughout this whole catalog. It's great fusion of jazz and funk. It's just
Mm.
absolutely a catchy one, and you have the keyboards in it just really bring it all together. And so yeah, number 5 is Kid Charlemagne for me, from one of my favorites. Don't want to spoil it.
Top
Yeah,
10 Utopia. I don't think I've ever listened to Utopia.
yeah, they're on my list. I know Todd Rundgren is the main guy involved in it. That's one that's on
Hmm.
my bucket list. Like I want to listen to them.
Might have to give them a listen sometime.
Hmm.
All right, we're on number 5. Okay, someone in the comments mentioned they hated this song, but I love this song. My number 5 is Peg from Asia. It's just starting out, has this really funky intro with like that synthesizer kind of going wow, making that weird sound, and
Yeah.
then you got the horns going do 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 do
Hmm.
do do do, and the guitar bum 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 bum, and then Donald Fagen comes in singing. It's a song about a girl who's starting her debut in the film industry, but she's kind of being stalked by her creepy ex who's like following her around, just being like, Peg, we'll come back to you. So it's kind of a creepy song if you think about the lyrics,
Yeah,
but it's really catchy though.
I know. Yeah.
Um, what I really like about this song is Michael McDonald's backing vocals in
Oh
the
yeah.
chorus, and he's like
Hmm.
singing like 3 or 4 different parts, harmonizing with himself.
Hmm.
And I watched this video that was the making of Asia,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's a
it
great
had
one.
they isolated Michael McDonald's vocals, and I'm like, this sounds so weird. If he just asked him to come into a room, it just sounds like Peg, back to you, Peg, back to you. Watch all fall, all in 3D, foreign movie. I'm like, that sounds really weird, but then when you add that in with
Yeah,
Donald Fagen, it just kind of clicks.
yeah,
But there are well, actually 3 big stars to this song. Um, it's the first one's Michael McDonald. The second one is Chuck Rainey, who's playing the bass
yeah.
line here.
Mhm.
And a funny story about the bass line. There's a
Oh
funny
yeah,
story about lots of these.
yeah, I know the
But
story.
he's like, this song needs some slap bass. And Donald Fagen, who's a perfectionist, comes in. He's like, do not slap on this song. I do not want slap bass on this song. So he played it more straight, but then like whenever it gets to the bridge, he started slapping. But he turned his bass so that he
Yeah.
couldn't see. And then
Mhm.
Donald Fagen was listening. He's like, what did you do on that bridge? I really like that. And he's like, oh, I slapped. So, anyway, but the third star of this song is Jay Graydon, who plays the guitar solo on this song. This
Mhm.
is probably my second favorite guitar solo from Steely Dan. Um, Third favorite is Reeling in the Years. Second favorite is this. We will get on to what's my favorite Steely Dan solo later on in the video. But this one is really cool. They had tried out, like, I don't know how many guitar players on this song, and none of them
Many.
played what they wanted. And then like
Mhm.
Jay Graydon comes in, just nails this, and it's like it's a really weird solo too. I mean, I think I want to learn how to play this because it sounds
Oh
really
yeah.
cool. Like after this
Mhm.
video is over, I might learn how to play some of these songs, starting with this one. But that's my number five.
Yeah. All right. So we're on number 4 now, and we're still on this album. And
It's a
and
good one.
yeah, and
I,
Garrett, you
I don't
kind of
know.
sung
Can you see it in the background,
it.
or do I need
Yeah, a
to
little.
turn the?
Yeah, I'll see a little bit in the corner, off to the very
Here, I'll
side.
turn it, and then you can see the glory of the royal scam.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
But yeah, and funny enough, Garrett, you kind of sung it a little bit earlier. But yeah, I'm going to talk about the title track, "The Royal Scam" itself, which is the last song. And yeah, this is just I just absolutely love the more haunts. This is probably the most haunting sounding song. Very cynical.
Mm.
From what I recall, this is about a lot of Puerto Rican immigrants coming to the United States looking for the American dream, but then they come here, they experience lots of hardships, they discrimination, racism, and all that stuff. And so you hear, and it really does kind of showcase the album cover as well. Just this homeless
Mm.
kind of this guy just on a bench by himself while all these statues are looking down of him. It's just absolutely, yeah, I just absolutely love it. It just has this very great beat to it, like dun, dun, bah, like and the horns are kind of going along with the cadence of it, and it just adds to it. And I just love Fagan's delivery of it. Again, he's just really selling the cynicism, the more haunting nature of it, and it's just absolutely spectacular. So yeah,
Mm.
that's is my what we're on number 4. Yeah, Royal Scam.
You know what's interesting? Because like these guys, I think were literary majors in college.
It shows, yeah,
Um, who starts a song with a conjunction? Because it starts with and.
yeah.
I don't know very many songs that start with a conjunction because it's like, if it starts with and, then what is it connecting to?
Mm,
Is like the intro the beginning, or I don't know. This is one of the bands that you could totally like write an essay on some of their songs.
yeah.
Anyway, my number 4 is the opening track to Asia, Black Cow.
Mm.
This one is super funky. As soon as you start the album, you're treated to boom, 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 bring, boom, 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 boom. In the corner of my eye, I saw you in Rudy's. You were very high. You were high. It was a crying disgrace. Anyway, just the way he delivers the
Mhm.
vocals on this song. And what I didn't know about this song is that whenever I first heard it, said a black cow is another name for a root beer float.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But I just like the funkiness of this song. I love the electric piano on this song, the electric piano solo. I love the horns on this song. And I love how they say at the end, so outrageous. Because that's what this song is. It's so outrageous. So my number 4 is Black Cow.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, we're in the top 3 now,
All
and
right.
this is
Best of the
one.
best.
Yeah, this is one. Garrett already mentioned this song actually, and that's off this album. That of course is Peg. So yeah, Garrett already talked in good detail about it, so I don't have much else to add. But yeah, absolutely spectacular song. Great pop number for them. Of course, Michael McDonald's backing vocals, just absolutely spectacular. That's always what I look forward to the most when I hear the song. But all this stuff like the guitar solo and it's absolutely really unique. And of course, Chuck Rainey's bass playing on the track and his slap bass is just really puts it all together. So yeah, Peg is my number 3.
All right. My number 3, I'm going to put my glasses back on for this one because they call Alabama the Crimson Tide. Call me Deacon Blues. Deacon Blues is, I just wanted to look cool whenever I said that. I'm taking this off because we've had a lot of comments that I want to read. But Deacon Blues is definitely one of their best songs. It starts out with this cool, like, boom, boom, and the drums like,
Mm-hmm.
and then it changes a little bit. What is this?
Well, I've heard. Well, I've had
What?
this for like 3 years, and I'm not tired of it yet. So
I'm not gonna get well. He can be wrong. Like, I'm glad he's here watching, but he's allowed to have an opinion, even if it's
no,
wrong.
it's cool. Yeah, Zeb's a cool guy. Like I know
The
I've
rest
seen him
of
a
the
lot.
catalog, yeah, the rest of the catalog is great too. This is we disagree because this is my favorite Steely Dan record. Those two are my other favorites back there:
Mhm.
Royal Scam and Can't Buy a Thrill.
Yeah, and this was my favorite, but I'm not sure if I
Anyway,
mentioned that already.
Deacon Blues, it kind of changes a little bit after the electric keyboard goes, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then it's just another really chill song. This is the day of the expanding man. Bow, 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 bow. And it's just really chill. Like, this is the kind of stuff you just throw on whenever you want to chill. Um, Great saxophone on here, great drumming, great everything, honestly. Great lyrics. I like the chorus. I learned to work the saxophone. I play just what I feel. I drink Scotch whiskey all night long and die behind the wheel. They've got a name for the winners in the world. I want a name when I lose. They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. Call me Deacon Blues. Like, those are the best lyrics in the song is the chorus. But it's about this guy. He's not even really a musician. He just dreams of being a musician because he's got such a boring life, and he doesn't even want to be a musician to be a musician. Like, he just wants the musician lifestyle. It's like, I don't know, kind of being on the road all the time. I shall repeat, both Home at Last and Asia is in my top 10, though. Okay, yes, those are both really great songs, and some of those may or may not show up later, but we will see. Anyway, Deacon Blues, 2 thumbs up. It is amazing.
Nice. All right, number 2 for me. Still back to this album, and it's gonna be the Fez. Yes,
You're never gonna do it without the Fez on.
Yeah, it's just I've talked about this song in great depths before, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But yeah, one of the funkiest songs they've done. I just love it. Just the bass work is just like so infectious. I mean, lyrically, it is pretty repetitive. You know, it's kind of the same thing over and over again. But I never get tired of it. It just sounds great. Great piano chords, great piano chord in the intro, and the keyboards on it. It's just really great tone on it, and guitar work is just great. And so yeah, absolutely love this track. It's one of the most played. That's part of one of the most played songs in this whole catalog. I just play that song a lot. Yeah. Regardless of what the song really means. You don't have to go into that, but yeah,
there's lots of different ideas of what this song could mean.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, great song. I love it. It's my number 2.
Am I the only one who thinks that the funniest meaning is just the straightforward meaning of the song?
Yeah, that's what I usually go to.
Anytime that I'm in the car and this song comes on, like, I will literally just go. Yeah,
that's me in my head. I would usually listen to that when I'm walking to work, and I'm trying not to just walk to the beats so much.
That's what I am. Please understand. Anyway, those guitar.
Holy man.
Boom, 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 yeah, it's a great song. I'm surprised this song's not in my top 10, but it would probably be in the top 20.
Yeah,
it's a really good one. My number 2 is from that album, though. My
Mhm.
number 2 is Kid Charlemagne from the same album, Royal Scam.
Mhm.
Zappa might have said. Anyway, I was so sure that this was going to be my number 1 song, but then I rethought and I'm like, wait a second, there's one song I like better than Kid Charlemagne. But this is my number 1 guitar solo.
Mm.
Larry Carlton on this song, absolutely perfect. I've got to learn how to play this because it's like every time I hear that guitar solo, I'm like, this is one of the greatest guitar solos I've ever heard. That uh, wait, hold on a second. I guess I know this solo. Why am I forgetting it? It's one of my favorite ones. I just gotta. I think I just because I forgot what song I was talking about or something. I don't know. I have brain blanks when I'm on these videos for some weird reason.
Yeah, we've been there.
Do 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 do. Bow 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 bow. Yeah. Wow. Bow 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 bow. Do 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 do. Boo do do do. I ain't gonna go higher than that because I can't say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember now. But I can sing it I can sing it note for note because I got it in my head. I just had to remember it
That's how
though.
you know it's a good solo.
Yeah. And that's how I know that I can play it because I can sing it in my head and so I gotta figure out the notes.
Yeah.
But the rest of the song's good too. I already talked about the lyrical content, but I like the keyboard, the kind of clavicle sound to it. I love the line, "Is there gas in the car?" Yes, there's gas in the car. That always makes me
Yeah.
laugh. Okay, I didn't mention this the first time whenever we did the ranking of the albums, but does it sound like whenever he says, "Did you realize that you were a champion in their eyes?" I don't know why, but every time I hear, "Did you realize that you were Italian in their eyes?"
I never heard that. Now I'm never gonna forget that.
Yeah, no, every time I listen to that song, it literally sounds like, "Did you realize that you were Italian in their eyes?" It's just, I don't know why I cannot hear that. I saw that in the comment section and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't hear champion anymore. I can only hear Italian.
Wow. Oh yeah, top 10 misheard lyrics ever.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my number 2 song.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
All
All
right, it
right,
is honorable mention time.
honorable mention time. We got a lot here.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So I'm going to go through this very quickly. So starting with this album, I have "Do It Again," "Kings," and "Change of the Guard." Hold on, there it is. Okay, you got from this album, which we haven't really mentioned. Like probably the best songs on here are "Razor Boy" and "The Boston Rag." Okay.
What about my old school? Oh, wait. That might be your top song.
Well, now that you mention it, yeah, probably "Old School" will be in the honorable mentions too. Totally
Or
forgot about that one.
Bodhisattva. That's a good one too.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Not quite yet. Okay, from Pretzel Logic is "Ricky, Don't Lose That Number," "Any Major Dude Will Tell You," and the title track, and "With a Gun." All great
That's a good one.
songs. Yeah.
And Charlie Freak. I like that one.
Oh yeah.
Do
Pretty good.
with the sleigh bells.
Mm. Okay, then we have from here got a few. I got "Bad Sneakers," "Dr. Wu," and "Your Gold Teeth 2," and Chain Lightning. Yeah, that's it. Okay, then from here we have "The Caves of Altamira" and "Haitian Divorce" as well. Pretty much, well, really the whole album, but
Yeah.
we're not gonna get that part. Of course, from here, of course, "Black Cow," the title track, of course, like Zeb here has mentioned many times. Yeah, the title track is also very good, and also every other song on this album. Okay,
Wow.
then we have. No, I already pulled that out. Where's my Gaucho?
Where is the Gaucho, amigo? What is he
Here it
doing
is.
in your spangled leather poncho and your elevator shoes?
Found
Bodacious
it.
cowboys such as your friend will never be welcome here in the Custard Dome.
Yeah. And then we have from here we have Babylon Sisters on Hey 19, Glamour Profession, of course, the title track, and Third World Man. Great stuff. And I did even have some honorable mentions from Two Against Nature, which I don't have. Gaslighting Abbey is pretty good. Janie Runaway and Almost Gothic. Those were like the top 3 songs from that album for me. And I do have Everything Must Go, which is their last album. My top 3 favorite songs in here were The Last Mall, Pixeline, and the title track, Everything Must Go. And that's all my almost I'll mention.
I've got a lot of honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Not as many as I did for the Who video, but Steely Dan has a shorter discography, so.
Yeah.
Alright. Getting the non-album single out of the way, FM No Static at All, amazing. From Can't Buy a Thrill, Dirty Work. I'm gonna look at the back because I don't know why do I only have Dirty Work, because there's a bunch of other good ones here. Okay,
Change the guard, yeah.
from Can't Buy a Thrill, Dirty Work, Midnight Cruiser, Fire in the Hole. Yes, Brooklyn Owes the Charmer Under Me. I said that was my least favorite when I reviewed this, but it's not my least favorite on this album anymore. I love this song now. It's really great. And yeah, Change of the Guard, and even Turn That Heartbeat Over Again. Those are all good. From Countdown to Ecstasy. No, that's not going to fall over again. Bodhisattva and My Old School. From Pretzel Logic, we have Pretzel Logic, Night by Night, Any Major Dude, Berrytown, and With a Gun, and Charlie Freak. From Katie Lied, Black Friday, Bad Sneakers, and Chain Lightning. From Royal Scam, Caves of Altamira, Don't Take Me Alive, The Fez, Green Earrings, Everything You Did, and the title track. And from Asia, Home at Last, Josie, and from Gaucho, pretty much the whole album. I didn't include any songs from Gaucho, but pretty much the whole album is great. It's just they didn't make my top 10. So Babylon Sisters, Hey 19, Gaucho, Glamour Profession, Time Out of Mind, all of those ones would probably be in the honorable mentions as well. So those are my honorable mentions.
All right. Very cool. All right. And then we go to the number 1. And one thing about my number 1 is that I mentioned this because on my channel I did a series where I went through my top 100 favorite songs of all time. And this song was part of it. I can't remember where exactly it was, but I mentioned it. And it's from this album, and it's Deacon Blues. Yeah. I mean, Garrett kind of already mentioned it before, so don't have too much to add. But yeah, I just absolutely love the vibe here. It's like 7 minutes, but it's just this very easy listening, just very chill vibe. Like I can just put this on, and you can just relax to it. It's just absolutely really very relaxing. And this is one you can probably play like. I don't know when I would do this, but you're just driving in the city. You just decide to just put a song on. It's just perfectly sets the tone of it, and it's just wonderful keyboards and guitar textures throughout the song. And the horn section to this one, I mentioned the horns very much a lot throughout my top 10 because I just absolutely love their horn section, and it's it just all comes together so well, and I just absolutely love it. I never get tired of it. One of my favorite song on here, but yeah, Deacon Blues is my favorite Steely Dan song.
Okay, I thought that my favorite Steely Dan song was going to be Kid Charlemagne, but then I reassessed and realized, there's one that I like better. My number 1 Steely Dan song is the title track from Asia. Yeah. I did not think of that the first time I heard this. I'm like, this is way too long and it's really boring. But like the more I've listened to it, like the more it grows on you. Because like at first you're like, the way they sing on here is kind of weird, like Chinese music and the banyan tree. here at the Dude Ranch above the sea. And you're like, at first you're like, that's a really weird way to sing, but that's just Don Fagen's voice.
Yeah.
But it's really catchy, and the musicianship on this song is top notch. You got the great Wayne Shorter playing saxophone here. That's amazing. You got, I believe it's Larry Carlton playing guitar on this song. It might be somebody else, but I think it's Larry Carlton playing guitar on this song. And but if you want to know who's the real star of this song, it's Steve Gadd, the drums. As soon as he starts going off on the drums, like, and then he just goes like doing a fill all the way down the drum set. It's just like, wow. And then you get that ominous in the background of him drumming. It's like, this is incredible. It's just like, every time you listen to this song, the musicianship is just so good. Oh, why is hold on a second, my computer battery.
Oh yeah.
I thought I plugged this in.
We apologize for technical difficulties.
Okay. We are back. Anyway, Asia is my favorite Steely Dan song just because of... No. I said you were my favorite Steely Dan song. Why are you falling? Anyway, that's my top number one, Asia by Steely Dan.
Yeah, great choice.
And just to recap, my number 10 was Ricky Don't Lose That Number. My number 9 was Dr. Wu. 8, Do It Again. 7, Only a Fool. 6, Reeling in the Years. 5, Peg. 4, Black Cow. 3, Deacon Blues. 2, Kid Charlemagne. And number 1 was Asia.
All right, and then my list was number 10, Reeling in the Years. Number 9, Night by Night. Number 8, Rose Darling. 7, Dirty Work. 6, Josie. Number 5, Kid Charlemagne. 4, The Royal Scam. 3, Peg. 2, The Fez. And then number 1, Deacon Blues.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. We will see you later. Go watch the Super Bowl.
If you're a football fan, at least.
If you're a football fan, I'm going to learn how to play Peg. Anyway, bye, guys.
Yeah.